All right, people. So I want to talk a little bit about the religion of Islam there. So, you get a lot of people, on the left term it, making up this term called Islamophobia. Anytime, you talk about a certain race or, a certain religion, whatever, unless it's the majority like Christianity or white people or whatever, it's a lot of times deemed racist or sexist. We can never have an honest conversation about what's going on with certain races, certain religions, or even certain genders in this country. If you say, well, it just so happens that a lot of Muslims believe in bad things for people, then that's called then you're Islamophobic. You're scared of Muslims. Well, there's been many polls done on Muslims where a lot of them support ISIS. A lot of them support killing gays or doing horrible things to people. And but if you bring that up again, you're Islamophobic. I mean it's totally ridiculous. We have to have an honest conversation about Muslims and are they good for our country? I mean, like I said, there's been polls done when a lot of Muslims are for Sharia law. A lot of Muslims are for a lot of the things ISIS, or even they even support ISIS. They say they have a favorable view of terrorism. But yet we want to let in, people like Obama want to let in all these fucking refugees, which could be these Muslims. Even if these Muslims do not commit acts of terrorism, even if they don't physically kill people, they're injecting horrible ideas into this country. We don't want to bring in a bunch of people who fucking support ISIS. If fucking 10% of these refugees support ISIS, that's horrible for our country. Why would we be bringing those people in? Even if like 5% support ISIS, think of how bad that is. That's fucking horrible. Any of these polls that have been done, that's, the numbers have shown that a lot of Muslims from foreign countries support ISIS. But we want to bring these people in without vetting them. I mean, it's totally ridiculous. And then, and Bill Maher, who's a big leftist, has been critical of Islam. He said the same thing. He said traditionally a lot of these Muslims believe in bad shit. They're violent. A lot of them are violent people, like the terrorists in Orlando. So, like I said, we have to have an honest conversation about, is bringing in unvetted refugees the best option for our country at this point in time, or at any point in time, to be quite honest with you. So, I mean, it's not fucking, you don't see fucking Christians out there bombing people saying, kill gays. You don't see Hindus out there saying that. You don't see Jewish people out. You don't see atheists out there saying that. You see fucking Muslims. Look at Muslim countries, like Saudi Arabia, in others in the Middle East. Look how horrible they treat people. Look how horrible they treat gay people and women. They fucking kill gay people. They fucking punish women for getting raped. I mean, those countries are such hellholes that it's fucking ridiculous that the way they treat women, they treat gay people. But yet you have your Democratic nominee taking money from those countries, and then saying she keeps harping on the idea of how she's the first woman president. She's going to be the first woman president, when she's taking money from these countries that treat women like shit. And that's what Muslims, that's what Islam is. Look at the countries again that are run by Islam, that are run by Muslims. Fucking, it's a fucking hellhole. But look at our country, which was founded, but by not Muslims. It was founded on really a lot of Christian beliefs. Our country is much better than those countries. Our country, who consists of mostly Christians, a dominant religion, treats women great. Women have freedom. They are treated exactly like men, pretty much. I mean, there's, of course, you're not going to have 100%, equality, I guess, if you want. I mean, there's certain ways that men get fucked over, like with child support and shit like that. And I'm sure there's certain ways women get fucked over too. But I mean, you don't fucking have women, allowed to be. You don't, men don't own women. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. I mean, you might have a few minor differences, in a country of 320 million people. Not everybody's going to be perfect. I mean, but we don't have a law where it says you can fucking rape women and then they get punished, or we get to kill women, or gays can be killed. I mean, we have fucking equality. We our country is very libertarian. And then you have people also attacking Trump for saying Muslims have to speak up if they, see a terrorist, or see a Muslim with bombs. And that's true. I mean, you got fucking this recent Orlando guy. Everybody was attacking Trump for, saying that Muslims have to speak up. Then it comes out the wife of his pretty much looked like she knew. She was like driving around with him, and also a lot of other things that happened with this guy, like, he cheered 9/11. A former DHS agent says he was connected. The mosque he went to was directly connected to a terrorist group. So I mean, there's a lot of shit about this guy that really. What word am I looking for? Has a lot of, that you have to look at and say, well, this guy could be a fucking terrorist. And if the guy's let's say a fucking terrorist, he boom, kills 10, 20 people. You gotta know, like the wife of his, I'm not saying the guy or Orlando, but just any terrorist. Like, there has to be some fucking, if this guy has a family, chances are, I think, I'm not an expert or anything, but going off of common sense, I mean, chances are that somebody has to know about it, that is close to the guy, unless the guy's like a complete loner and doesn't associate with anybody. I mean, some family member has to know about it. So, and like I said, it's, more information is coming out about his wife and how she might have known about it. And she's being questioned by the FBI now, and, it's really looking fucking suspicious, like this guy that they, with better intelligence and more people speaking up, I mean, looks like they could have known. And I'm not saying that, I'm not for, like, fucking, surveilling all fucking, just because, there's a mosque down the street, we should surveil it. No, I'm for probable cause, but, oh, and also there was a gun shop, too, that said that, they reported him to the FBI, too, because he was being suspicious. But, I mean, if somebody has a bunch of bombs laying on the floor, is hoarding up guns and acting in a suspicious manner, maybe he should be fucking reported and investigated. But like I said, I'm not saying that, looking at every fucking mosque or every fucking Muslim, if there's probable cause, then yes, we should investigate people. But, there's a fine line, you could say, between, because we have to remember in times like this, the Fourth Amendment as well. Reasonable search and seizure. You still need a warrant to look at people's shit. You still need a warrant, you can't just fucking look at somebody's emails or phone records or shit. You need a fucking warrant, says the Fourth Amendment, and you need a reasonable cause too. You can't just fucking, be like fucking Nazi Germany or some oppressive regime and look at everybody's shit. But also, too, again, you have to keep in mind the safety of our country, and you have to, if something suspicious is going on, we have to investigate it. We have to keep people safe. And we cannot also, I think a better choice would be just don't let all these people in the first place. I mean, you're always going to have problems. You're going to have people killing people. No place ever is a utopia. There's no country where you could go and say, that place is perfect. There's always going to be killing or violence, especially here in America, where we're a very violent society. I mean, we have violent video games, violent movies, a lot of violent shit that's being promoted, and a lot of gang culture. There's a lot of gangs here which kill each other. So you're always going to have problems, but we should not make that problem worse by bringing in more people who could be, who could be adding to the problem. We should be keeping those people out of our country. So I mean, that's about it, people. Just but I guess boiling this video down to one main point here. Islam is not a peaceful religion overall. I wouldn't say overall, but I'd say there's a big percentage of Muslims who are not good people, who support ISIS, support very horrible things. And there's, I think, 1.5 billion Muslims in the world. So even if like 10% of those people support ISIS or whatever, support bad things, that's fucking like what, 150 million people, I think? Which is a fucking lot of people, but yet the left keeps embracing Islam as this peaceful fucking religion and keeps lying about it. No, the fact of the matter is, it's not fucking Christians, it's not, it's a higher percentage of Muslims than fucking Christians or really any other fucking religion or atheists that are fucking the problem right now with ISIS. And, the problem right now is radical Islamic terrorism. And they don't want to put in that word Islamic into that phrase. They just want to say, oh, it's just terrorism. No. The reason why we had to put the word Islamic into there is because these terrorists are Islamic. And they're not just Islamic, they're committing terrorism because of their religion. So their religion has something to do with their act. So we have to bring up the fact that a lot of these terrorists are Islam. They're not Christians. If they were Christians and if they were killing because, maybe they're like, I'm Christian and I believe that, Jesus has sent me to kill, then we could say that they're radical Christian terrorists. But there aren't any of those for the most part. Again, it's Muslims that are the problem. And there's a lot of great Muslims. I'm not saying all Muslims are bad. And if we need Muslims, if we need people to come into this country and they are Muslims and if there's a way to vet them, then bring them in. But let's not just bring in people. We should worry about America first, like Donald Trump has been saying. America first. We have to worry about our own problems before we worry about other people. And let's not bring other people's problems into our country. If we actually want to help other people, let's help make their country a better place. Let's not fucking fund the ISIS, which we did for the past few years. Probably longer than that. Where we funded these so-called moderate rebels to fight against Assad, which actually fucked up the region, destabilized the region even more. We funded ISIS pretty much. And, again, created big fucking problems there in Syria and Iraq. And now that's why we have the refugee crisis. So let's work on actually not fucking doing this shit. And not funding ISIS. That'd probably be a good idea. So there's a lot of shit we could do to fix this problem here. But there you go, people. It's kind of my thoughts there on another post-Orlando video, I guess you could say there. But, I mean, the fact of the matter is there's a big percentage of Muslims that are not good people. And I'm not talking like, they're minor things wrong with them. No, a lot of them believe, in persecuting gays, killing gays, think women should be their property, support Al-Qaeda, support terrorism, support ISIS. So we have to have an honest conversation about Muslims without being called Islamophobic. So there you go, people.